Greg Hartzell from Phoenix, Arizona, tells us all about his move to Mexico in this video interview with expats in Mexico. So how did you decide to move to Mexico? Had you been to Mexico a lot on vacation?
Well, growing up in LA, I grew up at the beach, grew up surfing. So in my teens, I would drive down to Baja on surf trips fairly often. And then, yeah, I've been to Mazatlan and Cancun and Cozumel. And so I've been there a few times on vacation.
Why did you choose Guanajuato as the first place to go to?
I did a lot of research. Toshiba gave me 9 months notice that I was going to lose my job, so I had a lot of time to think about what I wanted to do, and I searched the globe, and then I kind of decided, okay, well, I don't want to be so far away from home. So we looked at the Americas, and then look at cost of living, look at safety, look at health. Health insurances or health facilities is really important to us because my wife does have a heart condition. Um, so then from that, we kind of narrowed it down to Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica, Ecuador, um, and Guanajuato just kind of checked off all the things on our list. We wanted decent healthcare. We wanted a relatively safe place. We wanted a good climate. We've been in Phoenix since '97, and we're so sick of being hot.
I can
So
understand that.
yeah, so Guanajuato, that's the Colonial Highlands. It has a higher elevation than Denver. So it's going to get warm there. It'll be in the 80s in the day, but then it cools off to the 50s or 40s at night. So after being here in Phoenix, we can handle the 80s in the day. If it cools off at night, no problem. And there's always something to go on. There's always something going on there. It's very cultural. And there's a little bit of a younger vibe there because the city itself is around 70,000 and 10,000 of those are students at the University of Guanajuato. And the other thing is we wanted to be like I didn't want to do San Miguel de Allende because there's just too many expats there for us. We really wanted to embrace the culture, get enveloped by the culture, learn Spanish. We don't want to be able to get by with English. We want to have to learn Spanish. So that was important to us as well.
You minored in Spanish in college, so
Yeah, but it's use it or lose it. So
all
I've
right.
been
It's
I've
been a
been
while.
I've been brushing up though. I've been using my Duolingo if you've ever heard of that. Yeah, so that's been good. And then as soon as we arrive in Guanajuato, for the whole first month, we'll be taking 4 or 5 Spanish classes per day,
Hmm.
every day of the week.
I
To
assume you're going to rent when you're there.
Yeah, we're gonna rent. I really don't have any intentions of buying anywhere. That could change, but I don't know. Maybe I'm pessimistic or I don't maybe my logic is flawed, but to me, I'm not too interested in buying right now because I think the economy is too volatile. I think politics are too volatile, and I think the environment's too volatile. So I think I'm just going to rent.
Good reason.
It's up high in the city, and with a view over the city. I think it's a group of maybe 5 or 6 apartments, I guess you'd call them. Uh, so yeah, we're going to be there the first month and a half or so.
Are kids coming with you, or just you and your
No,
wife?
no, just my wife and I.
Just the two of you. So your apartment living is great for you then.
Yeah, it'll be a little change for us. We've got a big 3,700 square foot house with a nice yard and a pool, but that's a lot to keep clean. That's a lot to pay for. So
Sure, sure.
it's not the cheapest for sure. It's 650 a month is what we're going to get with our initial one.
And that's
Um,
a two bedroom, or?
no, that's only a one bedroom, but
Mhm.
it's one bedroom, all utilities, including internet, maid twice a week, laundry facilities. So, it's not the cheapest certainly that we could get there. And if we go back, we'll look to be somewhere more in the $500 range for hopefully a two bedroom.
Mhm.
But this is really secure, and I'm a little. My wife's a little more concerned about safety than I am, so I wanted to make sure we got a place that she's going to be comfortable in.
Sure. Are you selling all your things and moving down, or are you going to move some of your things down?
No, we're not. We're taking 2 suitcases each. That's it. I'm gonna sell most that I can, and what I decide I need to keep, I'll put in storage.
Did you develop a checklist to help you manage the move down?
I did, yeah. I'm a big Excel guy, so I got a huge spreadsheet.
Yeah. You mentioned teaching English.
Yes.
Are you going to be teaching it through one of the programs, one of the schools down there, or is this an online
So
opportunity?
both. So like I said, I got 9 months notice from Toshiba. So in that time, I did a few things. I got a certificate for teaching English, a 100-hour certificate.
TEFL.
Yeah, TEFL certificate from Oxford Seminars. And then I got an additional 40-hour certificate to teach business English because then I can weave in my career background. Um, and I also tried out substitute teaching for the local school district here to get some classroom time. And I don't know if you can tell here, but this is actually a classroom that I'm talking to you from. I teach English online to Chinese kids.
Oh, cool.
So I've been doing that in the mornings. This morning I taught 6 classes from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. And so that pays pretty well. That pays about $20 an hour, which is not as much as I made with Toshiba, of course, but
Yeah,
that should be enough to
sure.
for us to be comfortable. I went to Guanajuato twice. I went in October and November, and I visited pretty much all the language schools in the city, and I visited them one as a student to take Spanish, but I also visited them as to see if I could get hired to teach. And I did find a language school there where I will both be a student and they're interested in hiring me to teach English.
Oh, it's terrific. What's the name of the school?
Escuela Mexicana.
Oh, that's great. Are there a number of schools in Guanajuato that are English language schools?
Yeah, yeah. There's probably 6 that I know of, maybe
Yeah,
more.
right.
Yeah.
What is your wife planning on doing? Is she going to be working at all?
Um, yeah, ultimately, we're not sure what she will do. She's from Denmark. She's obviously good at languages. She's fluent in English, fluent in Danish, and she's conversational in German, Swedish, Norwegian. So, and she's also spent some time working in the tourist industry, working at hotel reservation centers.
Mm-hmm.
So we're thinking after she needs to get up to speed on Spanish, but then after that, maybe in a school, like a front office of a school, like she does here, or perhaps go back to what she did before. Maybe work at a
Mm-hmm.
hotel or some sort of maybe something online too. I'm starting. This English thing is working out good, but I want to have a plan B, so I'm looking at different freelancing options, both for myself and for her. So she might be able to, for example, leverage her Danish and do something online doing Danish translation,
Mm-hmm.
and I might do some editing or copywriting or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's terrific. Now you're driving down or you're flying down?
No, we're gonna fly.
What are you going to do with your car? Are you going to sell it or?
Yeah, well, I'll keep them, you know, until I'll keep my cars until I come back in June or July, and then I'll sell them when I sell the house.
Okay. What are the top three things that you hope to achieve by moving to your new home in Mexico?
Uh,
What are your
uh,
aspirations? What are you looking for?
I'm looking to experience a new culture. I'm looking to not necessarily in order, experience a new culture, become really bilingual instead of half-ass bilingual, excuse my French.
That's all right.
And a slower pace of life. I've been in sales. I travel. I work from home and I travel way too much, well over 100,000 miles in travel the last several years. And just get out of the rat race and slow down and enjoy life.
Well, you're coming to the right place.
Yeah, I hope so. It feels like it.
So, how long have you been planning this move to Mexico?
About 9 months.
Okay, since you got laid off at Toshiba.
Yeah, since they notified me. Yeah.
What recommendations would you give to somebody else who's kind of in your shoes and thinking about perhaps making a move to Mexico?
Well, I don't speak from experience yet, but what I've read, and I've read a lot, it seems to me it's quite important that you have the right reasons. I think I have the right reasons. I want to experience another culture. I want to change my pace of lifestyle. I think the wrong reasons are you hate Trump or you hate something about America, or I also think I also maybe I'm wrong here, but I think an argument can be made that you shouldn't go just because of your financial situation. I think if that's the only reason you're going, you're going to be unhappy. So that's definitely some advice I would say is you got to make sure you got the right reasons. And, it took me a while. I had some second guessing for sure along the way. Just right now, I'm really solid. This is the right thing to do. But there were some times where one day I think it's good, and then the next day I'm like, oh my God, am I really going to do this? Do I want to do this? Or am I just running away? I lost my job and I don't want to deal with it, that type of stuff. But my wife and I are both very secure that we're doing it for the right reasons. And then the other thing I would suggest is read a lot. You need to read a lot, and you need to read it with a critical eye. I mean, I shouldn't say this, you know more about this than I do, but I think a lot of people like International Living Magazine, right? I think that's one place where a lot of people gravitate to, and that might be the only thing that they read, the only place where they get their resources. And they have a lot of good information, and I subscribe to it and get a billion emails from them every day. But what I don't like about them is I think that they only write about the good stuff. I don't think they paint a good, accurate picture for everything going on in these locations. I think they mostly focus on the positives. So I think you need to make sure that you're getting data that includes both the negative and the positive.
Good reason to go to expatsinmexico.com, right?
There you go. How's that for a plug?
Thanks, Greg. I really appreciate your time, and good luck in Mexico.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Todos necesitamos sentirnos llenos, lo bueno se nos